John.
Jerry.
Hello?
Yes. Unanisikia?
Yeah, I see people are starting to join. Naona Doris anza kuja.
Yeah. Ndio. Doris, karibu. Doris, karibu.
Asante sana. John, nimewahi meeting Kumbe bado.
Yeah, saa 8 kamili ndio tunaanza, ila kwa sasa hivi umeamua kuanza kwa ajili ya kuepuka technical problems.
Okay.
Tuna dakika nyingi sana za kusubiria watu.
Yeah, naona participant hapa ndo nikaa nasema hey. Kumbe na mimi nimewahi.
Sijui kama tuna tabia za Watanzania wanapenda kuchelewa.
Haya, moderator. Habari za masiku lakini?
Swafi kabisa. Kila kitu kiko wapi?
Ununio.
Safi sana.
Wavuvi halisi.
Yeah, Ununio uko sokoni kabisa. Kwa hiyo unakulaga samaki sana?
Sana mno. Huko sisi nadhani ni wahanga wa kwanza wa issue zote zinazo affect wavuvi ama bahari, kwa sababu tuko karibu sana na bahari, like a 15 minutes walk to the beach. Hiyo ni karibu sana.
Waga unafanyaga sana nili gani? Yani kuna step gani umewahi kuichukua kwa ajili ya kupambana na hilo?
Hayo maswali tutaulizana WhatsApp.
Okay.
Tusiongee.
Karibu sana, tuwasubirie wengine wa karibu.
Haya, sawa.
Hello, Jerry. No volume if you're trying to play the volume is not out.
Hello, Inka.
How are you, Jerry?
I'm very good. How are you?
Not bad.
Great.
Just
Things are great. I'm just, sharing the screen right now. Can you
yes,
see
I
it?
can see the screen.
Yeah. So I was just playing this so that as people are joining, they can keep on reading, and then John will take off soon.
All right, but no volume.
Or more volume.
No volume from the clip, or is it intentional?
No, there should be volume.
Yes.
Let me.
Okay, there is volume now. Okay, there is volume now.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good
Good
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I think you can all hear me.
Yes.
Okay, I will request we wait for the 5 more minutes for the other attendees to get chance to join our meeting, and then after 5 minutes, then we will continue.
Okay.
Okay, just 5 minutes, and then we'll start our meeting.
So I'll keep playing the video.
Sure. Good afternoon again.
Good afternoon.
Okay,
Good afternoon.
okay, nice to see you all joining our Zoom meeting. Can you all hear me? Very nice and well and clear. If you can,
Yes.
just raise your hand. Virtual hand. I mean, that's cool. Everybody's hearing me. So as we're about to start our meeting, I'll notify you all that this meeting will be recorded for memory and for sharing within our networks and communications. So as if you have joined this meeting, I know that most of you love the environment and you like to protect particularly ocean environment. And this meeting today is about the perception of marine litter and what we can do as stakeholders. So it's a call, most of people joined here, and we will feature the innovative people, and we're here to disseminate about our very own finding from the research we do on perception of marine litters from people of Dar es Salaam, Bagamoyo, and Zanzibar. So the marine litter, in short, these are the human created wastes that have been discharged into the coastal or marine environments. They can be either all anthropogenic, manufactured, or processed solid waste. But regardless to the size, we regard them as the marine litter, and they have adverse impacts to our ocean ecosystem, wildlife within the ocean, as well as human. We have been infected by this marine litter. First of all, we are delighted to have all of you attendees, and second of all, we are delighted to have the speakers who have been the chaperone on ocean conservation, and they have been using different innovation techniques, researches, training to make sure that they combat against the pollution, any kind of pollution. So we'll have Ellen Silas from Marina. You could just wave if you're here. Ellen Silas, are you here?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Here. Thank you for the invitation.
Okay. Arena is a social business which is committed to eco-friendly, and they building materials that's made of plastics. They made eco bricks and pavements, and they have been organized different activities, include beach cleaning, and take all the wastes, plastic wastes, and then they convert to make bricks, which we call them eco-friendly. We are delighted to have another speaker who is Olanyika Osulale. Can you?
Hello, everyone. Hi.
We are nice to have you.
Thank you very much.
He's a senior lecturer at Elizade University, Ilara Mokini in Nigeria. He is a microbiologist and environmental management specialist. His research area of interest is lie upon the environment, health management. We are happy to have Michael Kimolo from HYPE. Michael Kimolo.
Hi, everyone. Glad to have you all here.
Glad to have you. He has 4 years experience in software development and digital marketing. And within his industry of HYPE, they use an interactive development software approach that is called Clean and Collect, which they have offered digital way for small and medium solid waste management companies at Dar es Salaam. And they receive, they organize all forms of payments, receive, managing the record and engagement in them with their client. We are happy also to have Catherine Elek. I think Catherine, we will have some problem having her here today because they have took their course with the plastic boat. They made a boat which is 100% made of plastics, and they have made expeditions from Lake Victoria, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, and now they are the Indian Ocean heading toward Kenya. We will be happy also to have co-founder of Aqua Farms organization, Mr. Jerry Mangena. You can say
hello, everyone. Happy to be here.
I will talk about Jerry later, and we will have Fadhili Malesa, a co-founder of Aqua Farm organization and the UDSM staff from School of Aquatic Sciences and Fishery. He's so fascinating about the community, and he wants to give back his knowledge to community so they can improve their livelihood.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
So by saying those remarks, we are officially starting our meeting with moving to the meeting agenda number 1. And we will welcome Mr. Fadhili and Jerry to give the small insight about their findings on this project of marine litter. Welcome, Fadhili, to start. You got 8 minutes to go.
Okay, thank you very much, moderator, for welcoming me to do a presentation. I think you see my slides.
Sure, I can see.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody, again. As introduced by John, my name is Fadhili Malesa from Aqua Farm Organization, but also I'm working at the University of Dar es Salaam. So I'll be doing a short introductions about the perception and attitudes toward marine litters. And this is the case that were done in the city of Dar es Salaam, Zanzibar, and Bagamoyo in Tanzania. The project was funded by the Association of Commonwealth Universities in cooperation with the White Rose and the Commonwealth, and implemented by the Aqua Farm Organization, LZ University from Nigeria, and the University of Dar es Salaam. So from my presentation, I will have 2 parts of presentation. I'll give the short background about the project, and about aqua farms organizations. So aqua farm organizations are focused mainly in 4 flagship areas. The first one is on aquaculture, second one on fisheries, the third one is conservation and critical habitats, and the fourth one is in coastal community health. In aquaculture, aqua farm organizations do promote conservations and consultation of farming aquatic species, but mainly we are focusing on doing consultation for tilapia and African catfish culture in the coastal areas, but also in the mainland. In fisheries, aqua farm organizations do promote environmental friendly fisheries activities, but also doing different kind of researches to help in decision making and implementation of various government policies. And in conservation and critical habitats, aquafarm organizations do conserve various habitats, including mangroves, seagrass, and coral reefs. But mainly, we do restorations of mangroves, especially we do restoration of mangroves in Mbweni, but also in Kunduchi. In coastal and community health, we do sanitation and hygiene in different fishing landing sites. About the background of the projects, one among the global challenges that are facing in the world today is the increase of human-created waste as marine litters, and this brings a lot of impact to socio-economic, but also in social health risky. And this, the increase of using of these plastic materials due to urbanization, inadequate raising of awareness, and also in increasing human populations.
Excuse
and
me.
This in terms of economic aspects.
Really?
Yes.
Can you make a full slide?
Full slides.
Yeah. Just click the button so it can fit to the entire screen.
Yes. How is it? Okay. On the impacts of marine litters as it touches the ocean or marine environments, it's bring a lot of impacts in terms of economic, social, and ecology. In terms of economic aspect, marine litters or waste affect the fishing, the fisheries activities by decreasing the catches. Sometimes you might find that the plastic materials entangle the fish, and this reduce some of the cages that the fishers will expect. But also increasing of the waste in beaches, this discourage the visiting of tourists, and this lead to loss of some of tourists or income that will be generated from the tourist activities. But also on terms of shipping, sometimes these plastic materials may affect the proportions of the shipping, so may lead to damage of fishing vessels, but also other activities of the ports, including the shipping of various goods in the ocean environments. But also on the term of social and human health risky, sometimes when the fish consumes the plastic material, which might bleach some of the chemicals, so this may lead to the social and the health human risky that might affect the well-being of the society. But in terms of ecology, these plastic materials, when bleached sometimes in marine environments, may release some of the chemicals that we use to create those materials, and may lead to changes in gene expression and lead to loss of biodiversities. And it's projected that in the next 10 to 15 years, the global plastic production is expected to double and increase. And therefore, the manufacturers and distribution and the other systems, including consumption and trade, all these stakeholders need to change in order to rescue our resources from marine environments. And for instance, in Dar es Salaam, it has been reported that increase of solid waste that is generated, they lead to a lot of costs to the local government authorities. And for instance, in Dar es Salaam, during the rainfall seasons, we see a lot of flooding, and this is due to some of the blockage of the system that may lead to costing. And another reason is due to the coastal settlement increase of these activities may lead to the increase of marine litters waste in the ocean environments. The main aim of the study is to speculate the perception about marine litters from different groups of people living around the coast of Dar es Salaam, Zanzibar, and Bagamoyo. The study assessed from the sustainable design and the alternative to plastics, effect of plastic on marine life and contamination of the food chains, to the waste management and behavioral change of the society regarding marine litters. And this is the map that's showing the study area where the survey was conducted at Dar es Salaam, Zanzibar, and the Bagamoyo. The questionnaire was divided into main three forms. The first one was distributed to the people who may read and write, the government officials and the non-government organizations, but also the survey was created and were done in online platforms, with WhatsApps, emails, and so on. And the target audience or respondents were manufacturing industry, retail shops, and environmental organizations, coastal industry, waste management companies, but also to the government, media, and the education sectors, including universities and other institutions that were doing some of the environmental studies. And some of the key questions that were posed out during the studies was the experience of respondents in visiting the coast, whether the respondents are visiting daily, weekly, monthly, and so forth. And another, the question was the distribution of marine litters in ocean environments, whether the litter are distributed on the surface, in the beaches, or in the deeper part of the oceans. And the materials composition of marine litters, the oceans, is including the plastic materials, glasses, and the water bottles. The pathway and factors contribute to marine litters, this including if the plastic are reaching to the ocean through the rivers or other means. This is other questions that were posed to respondents, including the threats of marine litters to the coast, ocean environment, to the health risk. So this question were targeted to know the awareness of different stakeholders if they know about the threats of marine litters to the ocean environments, but also to their human health. But another question is the actions to reduce marine litters in the oceans as a collaborative way to reduce the issues of marine litters in ocean environments. Thank you. So the jury will proceed with the results and the other issues that were discovered. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Malesa, for the wonderful presentation. And for the audience, if you have any question or suggestion, just save them for the Q&A session. So this time, I would like to welcome Mr. Jerry Geoffrey Mangena to give his input on presentation on findings of background and perception of marine litter. Jerry, you're welcome. The ground is yours.
Thank you so much. I don't know if you guys can see my screen. I've shared it already. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we can
Great.
see.
Yes, we can see.
Awesome. So as Fadili gave a preamble about the project, now it's time to share the results, and I'm gonna go directly to the first result. So among the things that we asked the question, we asked the participants was how often do they visit the beach and how far do they live from the coast, and whether they notice litter when they visit the beach or not. And 81% visit the beach on daily basis. They showed that most of our attendees were actors and doers of the cost, but also majority of them, almost more than 60%, were living 10 kilometers from the beach, and 73.5% notice litter when they go to the beach on most visits. So this showcases that people are aware and they are not blind along litter at a huge number of almost 73%, which is a good thing because it adds us a better position to enact behavior change actions. When we also ask the question around what part of the ocean has more litter, the two that were highlighted here were the beach.
Sorry, Jerry, to interrupt you. I think there's still Melissa's slides. Yeah, we thought maybe you are using the same PowerPoint, but
No.
probably Fadili can unshare so that you can share your screen. Sorry. Yeah, okay, now I can see.
Okay, sorry. So let me just take you guys back. Great. So as I said, the meeting today is about perception of marine litter and the results toward the research that Fadili gave a preamble. And going to the first, we spoke to a number of attendees, 250 plus, along the costs that are mentioned, and 81.2% of them mentioned that they visit the beach on daily basis, and this signifies that majority of the ones that we spoke to are active actors and users of the coast. But also 60% of them live within 10 kilometers from the beach, and when they visit the beach, on most visits they notice litter. By 73% of the respondents mentioned that. This cover up the question whether people are blind on litter or not, and it shows that people are aware and they notice litter when they go to the beach at a higher percent. We also asked people a question around what part of the ocean do they think they have more litter, and the question was centered around the beach, on top of the water, like the surface of the water, just below the water surface, in deep ocean, and even the polar regions, just to know if people understand to that extent. And among the two that we felt it's very important to share that were spiking were, first, 95% think that there's a lot of litter on the beach, which is obvious because a lot of beach cleanups are happening on the beach level. But 64% say that there's no litter below the water surface, which it's contradicting with different researchers that are put out there that shows that plastic and other marine litter are entangling fish and other aquatic ecosystems, resulting to the detrimental effects to the ecosystem that is under the water. So this signifies that most of our people we have spoke with are not aware on what's happening under the water, which in one way or the other, there's a need to disseminate further on what's under the water and what are the effects of plastic under the water and to what extent these plastics are there. And just to elaborate on that as well, to show them the importance of understanding and the pathways of plastic and different marine litter, as well as the way they gain weight and settle down in the bottom of the ocean, or how they drop and break down into small pieces and become microplastic under the water surface. So we also asked people a question around what do they think are the causes of marine litter, and 78% said that extensive use of single-use of plastic as a material for daily uses. This means that when we go to buy things, we get packages on plastic. Majority of our utensils that we use and different other activities that we do, they use mostly plastic. So that's the first reason. And then the second one that highlighted was this use of single-use plastics, which are straws, disposable plates and cups, forks, spoons of such nature. But also 67% say that lack of bins in the public areas is contributing to marine litter increasing to the extent that we are seeing now. And in this case, it shows the significance of why efforts and infrastructures should be in place so that we can reduce this problem, because there are conditions here in Dar es Salaam where they pay people to collect luggages and waste from their homes, and they go to throw them to the rivers. And in this case, it's not like the correct way to dispose this waste, but what can they do? Because there is no place that in that locality that someone can take their collected waste, and then the car or the vehicles that collect waste can come and collect. But also 62% think that the behavior of people is what it's bringing the fact of increased marine litter. So the way we raise our children, because behavior is centered around how children are growing, and the behaviors that we center around ourselves in our families, in our institutions and everywhere, are not towards proper waste disposal. And that's what leads to increase in marine litter. Another question that we asked was around different marine litter or different wastes, which one do contribute mostly to more litter. And it was observed that 28.8% of people responded, and they think that plastic is the major contributor of marine litter, followed by 15.6%, which includes electronic devices and different other wastes that are connected, or it's a combination of more than one material, such as syringes and others. 14.9% think that clothes and shoes and relative textile materials are contributing to marine litter. And the least one was metal, which was 8.7%. So another question that we spoke to people was around how long does it take for different marine litter to decompose. And one among the things that we thought it's important to highlight was the plastic, because it's one of the global concerns right now. And 42% don't know how long plastic takes to decompose. Majority of them said it's within a few months to a few years, up to 10 years. And the rest said that they do not decompose. But 42%, that's a huge number of people thinking that plastic takes so short to decompose. And that's perhaps is the reason why people decide to dispose plastic and different other wastes just without any concerns. When we asked the question around whether marine litter is a threat or not, it was centered around more than 15 metrics, but the one we have highlighted here today are whether it's a threat to coastal appearance, because it's backed on 69% of the people we spoke with think that marine litter is a threat to coast appearance, and that it might result in decrease in tourism and aesthetic use of the coast for refreshment, and the way like people are currently using the ocean. But also 69% also think it's a threat for human health. This is a presence of sharp objects in the beach, such as syringes, glasses that may end up rupturing or causing injuries to people, but also a collection of materials that one way or the other can be volatile and harmful to people who are living alongside the coast. It's very interesting to see that 68% of people also say that it's a threat to marine ecosystem. And this shows that a majority are aware on the situations and how these wastes are a threat to the ecosystem. And in that extent, it's not just people thinking about how they can make money from the ocean, but also they understand how the marine ecosystems contribute to the sustainability of the world, and that's why they think it's a threat to marine ecosystem. Another question that we asked was centered around a number of myths. So we know there's a number of myths that are happening in different aspects, and in marine litter, there are a number of myths that are there, and we post them so that we can know what are people thinking about them. So one among the myths that we put in place was whether marine litter has a threat to environment and has a lasting effect. And 69% say they strongly agree with that marine litter has a threat to marine environment and has long-lasting effects that cannot be easily cured. But also on the question that marine litter is an increasing matter or something that is gaining numbers day by day, 62% agree to that because they mentioned that marine litter is something that has not been to this extent that it is right now, and the numbers of the litter they are seeing along the coast is increasing day by day. And among the factors along discussions that came out from the previous stakeholders meeting was increasing in population as one of the factors, but also the increase in plastic itself as a way into which people are solving a lot of issues around packaging was also a leading cause of why this should come in place. But something that has been highly overlooked is the fishing gears, especially the gears that are put in the ocean and then they end up getting lost. Different researchers right now have shown that fishing gears are the leading pollutants of the water bodies, and this is a threat because there's no way we can stop fishing, but how can we come with sustainable gears that even when they go lost, they cannot keep on doing ghost fishing, as well as breaking down into microplastics and eventually bringing even other detrimental effects. Just to pinpoint one of the research that was done in Lake Nyasa, showed that there's a number of plastics that are coming out of fishing gears and they end up settling at the bottom of the lake, and that's resulting to increased anoxic conditions in the lake. I'm not so sure of the mechanism, but that's a threat because it's even a threat to our food and others. Another myth that we asked people was whether marine litter is a problem of the future and not now, and 30% think so. So 30% of the people, they think that marine litter is a problem of the future and not the current problem, which it's a very huge number to think of that, because one way or the other, these people are not sensitive. They don't see the urgency of why we should address the problem of marine litter, as well as why it should be a concern at this moment. Another myth that we put in place was that there is not enough evidence to support the problem of marine litter is a problem, and 60% disagree that there's not enough evidence. And this gives hope, because if it means that this 60%, they agree that there is enough evidence to support that marine litter is the problem, and it's out of research that is currently being done in different parts of the world, and along the coast of Tanzania and in the Great Lakes, but also the visibility. We saw that 73% of the people, they notice litter when they go to the coast, and the extent that this litter is beyond extra normal. When we also asked another myth around whether whose problem is this, and 21% say that this is the problem of the people of the coast. And if you are living away from the coast, this is not your problem. But we are all aware of the concept around catchment areas where everything upland ends up in the ocean or in the large water bodies. If you throw a litter up in Kuranga, it will just be washed all the way down to the coast and eventually into the ocean, and then be taken to even different parts of the world, and always causing effects to the ecosystem, and affecting everything that is in there. So seeing this number that people, they think it's just the problem of the coast, I think there's a need, while we are doing our beach cleanup campaigns and other activities, to invite people who are beyond those who are living at the coast, so that they can also know that it's their responsibility to do that, but also to know that highest contribution of litter does not come from the people who are living by the coast, but it's coming upstream. After that, we asked the question whether, we asked the question whether does the ocean have value? And among the things that we were pointed out of a number of factors was it has a value for support of marine biodiversity, transportation and fishing, but also food. And these three had more than 90% value in terms of of the scores by people. The least one in the case was the one around exploration of oil and gases, and I think that's for the case because at the situation now in Tanzania, we do not have a lot of information around what's available on oil and fossil fuels from our ocean. So we also put three metrics: responsibility, competency, and motivation. And these were centered around who is responsible, who is motivated, and who is competent. But today, on all the stakeholders that were listed, starting from South to NGOs to government, industries, recycling companies, waste disposal collection companies, we all centered them around that, and we asked. So we have decided to center our results towards general public and NGOs, just to make sure that this is well understood in these two aspects and the misconception that it's observed. Starting with responsibility, the general public, 61% says that the general public is responsible for waste management, which one way or the other, it's a good sign, because if everyone is responsible for waste management, someone is speaking. Yep. If everyone in the community will be responsible in terms of waste management, then we'll be in a better position to put ourselves in place where waste cannot be a problem. But also 38% strongly agree that it's a responsibility of the NGOs to do waste management. And this case is highly misunderstood, because what I understand and what Aqua Farms understand is that an NGO is there to capacity build the community and not to provide services. What does this mean? It means that we are supposed, as an NGO and different actors and NGOs that are giving trainings, conducting beach cleanups activities out there, we should capacity build the community in a way that they can do it themselves without the presence of the NGOs. Now, 38% thinking that is the responsibility of the NGOs to do waste management. That's a huge number that is misconceived around that. And then when we ask the question around competency, the general public, 47% thinks that the general public is competent enough with this, and that they are aware around knowledge around sorting, the knowledge around, can you please mute? I don't know, is that, okay. General public, so 47% think that the general public has enough competency and competence around sorting waste, knowing what to dispose, but something that was pointed out from the stakeholders meeting is that it's true people are aware, but the infrastructures is what lets them down. And in that case, infrastructures are highly contributing to the general public's behavior. And then around competency from NGOs, 32% think that NGOs are competent in their action towards waste management. And this, I think, is way below what personally I expected, but also I think for NGO actors inside the room, it's not what you expect, because we believe that you're on top of the game and you are competent enough to give knowledge and capacity to the communities on how to go around and do proper waste management. So perhaps it's a question on the methods we use to get our information out there. Is it the right method? Is it bringing behavioral change, or is it just a one-shot activity that eventually doesn't make any change to the environment or to the people that we are trying to capacity build waste management skills and willingness and urgency to them? And then the last one was motivation. And 34% disagree that the general public are motivated to do waste management, meaning that 34% they agree that the general public is motivated to do waste management. And this is because, which is something that we hope Helen will sort it out today, that the circular economy around waste, is it something that we see? Is it something that we can obtain and someone can see value out of it? Because if there's no value, perhaps no one would want to do it, because we know everyone currently in the world is chasing for money, and one way or the other, if it does not have that immediate feedback, then it's difficult. Now, when we do beach cleanups, what are the incentives that those people who are participating get directly? Because we, as actors and allied people who sit down and organize these cleanups, are already conscious about this. And what we're trying is to bring the urgency and the willingness of the people to take part in these things. But then it's becoming difficult when these people are not seeing the reason why they should do it, because of lack of immediate effect. But also 38% disagree that NGOs are motivated to do waste management. This result shocked me one way or the other. And perhaps this is centered around transparency, honesty, community participation in our programs. Do they really understand why we do cleanups? Are they involved in the processes while we are organizing the programs, or are we just bringing them aboard on the last act of doing the cleanup? And even they don't know where the waste goes. So it's very important to ensure that. Asante sana. Sorry, I spent much time than I expected. I don't know how will things be compensated, but it was important for me to finish up.
Well, thank you very much, Jerry, for your articulated presentation on perception of marine litter. And I like that part where you're talking about the community perception. There are people who knows that there is a marine litters. There are other who don't know. But there is another paradox that who will be ready to join the effort on combating this marine litter and the efforts. So I'll take this chance to welcome another session. And this is a room for question and answers. If you have the question, you can just raise your virtual hand. And then you can throw the question. Okay. We can throw the question. Either Jerry can answer, or Fadili, or anyone from the audience with the input. Okay, we have here Mr. Edward Senkondo. Welcome. You can introduce yourself and then throw your question. And it will be
okay,
your call, because we are recording it for communication. If you like.
say again, it will be good if
you turn on your video.
Unfortunately, I'm using my mobile phone. I'm not sure if.
Okay. No problem. It's okay. Just
it will show clearly. Yeah. Okay. So can you hear me very well, right?
Sure, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, good. So I have three questions. One question I will direct it to Mr. Fadhili, and the last two questions I will direct to Mr. Jerry. So first of all, I would like to congratulate both presenters. They have presenting something fascinating. It's quite very well, very informative, and especially at this time when we are in, I can say the ocean decade and towards achievement of the Sustainable Development Goal number 14. So we have to fight against plastic pollution, including the marine litter. So my question to Fadhili, I was quite very keen to look at the stakeholders targeted by this research survey. And Fadhili highlighted that there are mainly three stakeholders, if not mistaken. And just to name them, the first one was, I just noted somewhere, yes, we have government, we have industry, and the companies, something like that. So my question is, as far as I know, with this plastic, yes, we know that large companies and industry are the major producers of these plastic litters, but the end users of the plastic litters are just communities, people who are living near or close to the coastal areas. This research survey direct targeted the coastal community. If I say coastal community, I refer to people like fishermen or people working in mariculture industry, say like seaweed farming, you know, those people who do their activities on daily basis in coastal areas or in marine areas. So I was kind of wondering that this this research also targeted people like them, or you are on companies, government, and the industry. Come to Jerry, questions. The first question is, yeah, they are quite very good, because if you take the percentage-wise, generally, they show that our community, they are quite very aware of plastic litter in marine environment. But when I was looking on this part you presented about the threat of marine litters in marine environment, you highlighted that about 69%, they say that the marine litter has got some detrimental effect or impact on marine environment. But also as well, again, 69%, they say that the marine litter has got also human threat. And about 69%, they say that the marine litter has got problem in marine ecosystem. But I was wondering, again, if this about more than 60%, they said that the marine litter has got problem, or they create or they cause problem in marine environment and in human health as well. I was wondering why, again, 60% marine litter has a problem. You might need to give a bit clarification that there is not enough others got a problem. Confusing. Probably you can put it very clear. And the last question to Jerry is if I can try to put it collectively, the only way or source which contribute the marine litter to the environment according to your presentation, what I can say, collectively you can say is anthropogenic activities, because I can see here that some of the causes, you say 67 is lack of beans, 62% is human, 62% is human behavior, 78% is extensive use of single plastic, and 75, something like that. So if you take these percentages, it's
Okay, he went off.
Yeah.
I think there is a problem of network.
Yeah, and I couldn't hear him very well as well. But just to respond in summary of the things that he asked, I'll respond also to Fadili's. He asked whether the research also included people living in the coast. So we had more than 15 stakeholders that we engaged, including the direct actors, people around tourism, fishermen, people in seaweed farming, shop retailers, people selling in supermarkets, educators.
Hello, excuse me,
students.
I had poor connection.
Okay. Edward? Hello, Edward?
Yes, can I proceed? I had a poor connection.
Yeah, we see. You need to make
Hello,
it.
can I proceed with the last question?
Sure, but you need to make it short and
yes. Okay, the last
of time.
Yeah. The last one.
I think maybe Edward can put the questions in the chat box and we'll respond to them.
Yeah, that's very nice. Edward?
Can you try to ask them about this contribution of
Edward? Okay. Jerry, proceed.
I couldn't hear the second and the third question, but I was making out information clear for the first question that he just asked for daily, because I'm also seeing time is going. Maybe Edward can put the questions in the chat box and I will respond there. But in response to the first question that was very hard clearly about the stakeholders we engaged almost 15 stakeholders ranging from active actors of the coast like fishermen, people in seaweed farming, people in tourism around the coast. We also involve people who are, in retail shops. We involve people around education institutions, that is schools, universities, and also we involve people who are like our key stakeholders. In this case, who are the government people, a few industries, and some waste collection agencies and NGOs as well. So on that was the wide range at which we were able to cover up in terms of stakeholders and people we reached with the survey. And then the two questions, I just had the numbers he mentioned, but I didn't get the clear question. So when he put it in the chat box, then I'll respond there.
Okay. Thank you, Jerry, for the response. The time doesn't do as well. I'll welcome just one short, clear question. Clear and precise question from the audience. Anyone? Anyone with a question? If no, I'll just proceed. Okay. Okay, let's move on our next agenda on panel of discussion and what innovations can do. So we will have to invite one speaker, and each speaker I'll be asking 2 questions, and I need you to spend time effectively to respond to the question you asked. So starting with Olayinka. Are you there, doctor?
Yes, please, I am.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So Olayinka Osulale is a senior lecturer at Elizade University, Ilara, Mokini in Nigeria. And he is a microbiologist and environment management specialist. And he's a Blue Character Fellow of the Association of Commonwealth Universities. And his research interest lies in environmental health management, and he's enjoying exploration and finding better to improving and solving environmental challenges. So he loved to travel and he loved to meet with the new people. Welcome again. So I'll throw you a question. Regarding on this here. So what does innovation means to you, and what is the motivation behind the perception studies in Tanzania? These are the two questions for you. What does innovation mean to you? And what was the motive behind the perception study, Tanzania? You're welcome.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. I believe you can hear me very well, right?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So it's a pleasure to be here. And thank you guys for the great job. And I also want to appreciate you for the Swahili pronunciation of my name. Why there's a Nigerian pronunciation, I'm getting to hear the Swahili pronunciation of my name. So thank you very much. So just to quickly answer the questions, like, what does innovation mean? Personally, I see innovation, as the ability, to be able to do something new or do something uniquely different from what it used to be, or maybe as a previous way of things used to be, and then working to improve that previous state of such a thing, or a situation, or improving a challenge. And so that is how I see innovation. And your second question asks, like, so what was the motive behind the study, in Tanzania? And so let me first start by saying that, the idea of, having a study of this nature first came about through the Blue Charter, where you have the Commonwealth countries, coming together to address the issues of marine pollution. And then, considering the importance of research and international collaboration, they felt that, this could play an important role in driving success for any change, for development. And so, to boost cutting edge research on marine plastic and reduction, a study such as the perception study, was very important, to do, so that whatever it is or whatever driving towards, is achievable and doable to bring about the necessary change that we are looking for. So that is, the motive behind, the study done in Tanzania. I guess I've answered. I don't know if I left anything there.
No, you didn't. Okay.
All right.
Oh, thank you very much for your feedback. And any questions from audience? If you have a question to Olayinka or Swalale. Anyone? We still have time.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Can
Okay.
Can you
Priska,
hear
go
me?
ahead. Sure, we can.
Okay, maybe I can ask this question to the doctor. Like we had done this research in Tanzania and we see how the result is it. So I want to ask him if he has done this kind of research there in Nigeria, and if yes, can he try like to compare the two different results? Just in short summary between Tanzania and our perception, awareness about the marine litter in Nigeria and Tanzania. If he has done the same thing like this one before in Nigeria.
All right, thank you, Priska, for that question, and it's good hearing from you. Now, a study in terms of perception of similar that we did in Tanzania, no, we haven't done such yet in Nigeria. But I can say that currently we are having, or we are conducting a closely related study where we are trying to capture, plastic, in the environment. And the goal is to, bring about awareness of, plastic pollution, in our environment. So currently, the study is ongoing, and I think from it might as well help us in a way to be able to capture people's perception based on whatever it is that we present. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think maybe this is a good opportunity for doing this research more widely in different places.
Yeah, it is. I do agree. If you also remember that, my ability to do the kind of study that I did in Tanzania was because, it was funded. So probably if Priska would be kind enough to fund, the study in Nigeria, why not? It's something that it's worth doing. Again, just like you rightly said, make kind of a comparison of the two regions, but then it requires some level of funding to be able to carry this kind of study out.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
Okay, thank you.
let me just also highlight, just like I did mention that we are currently also doing a kind of a study. So I think at least through this meeting, I think I'm having some kind of insight of how I might still be able to adapt, similar study, that is ongoing, and see whether we could achieve something similar to what we did in Tanzania. So at least as it is now, this is more like self-funded kind of a project, but then we could still explore how we could, bring out something closely to what we did in Tanzania. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Priska, and thank you, Dr. Olanyika, for your feedback. Okay, time is rushing. Let's move on. Our next one will be Helen Silas. Helen?
Yes, Joe, I'm here.
Okay. It's your turn now. So we're going to discuss about innovation and what can do. So Helen, she's medical laboratory student and an outstanding young leader. And she reflects a variety of personality, including ambition and equality, generosity, and thoughtfulness. She's an entrepreneur and environmental activities. And she's a co-founder. Hello?
Yeah,
Yep.
I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you. So I'll be asking you two questions, and I need you to respond. And it's what does innovation mean to you, and how are you practicing it? That's the first question. And the second one is, how can circular influence the perception of marine litter toward positive way?
Okay, thank you so much, Joe, for the nice question, and thank you, our organization, for the invitation of this useful discussion. As you introduced me, my name is Elena Silas, and I'm the Director General for Elena Recycling Industry, a social enterprise that converts plastic waste into alternative building material like eco-brick for construction activities. So back to the question, to me, innovation is all about being creative, having ability to convey or to change the challenge into a solution. And how do I practicing it? So in 2018, I saw the challenge in the environment, which is the plastic waste. And I decided to venture the polymer sand technology, which is a technology that use plastic waste as the resources, the key resources for the production of eco-brick. So I decided to do that because I've seen the problem in the environment, and especially to the ocean, like here in Dar es Salaam, people, we are not have this habit of having the good waste management. And I come to the thought that what can we do about this? So I decided to go beyond about it by having that solution of recycling. And what we do so far, we collect this plastic from the environment. And also we sometimes have this beach cleanup initiative, whereby we partnered with NGOs and other organizations and asking volunteers to have this beach cleanup every Saturday. And we collect those plastic waste from the ocean and from the marine areas. And also we collect this plastic from the source, like from the shop, from the conference, and from the environment. And also we use that strategy of buying this plastic from the waste pickers, and we use this plastic waste as a key resource to produce the eco-brick. So far, we have been able to collect more than 300 tons of plastic waste that we have been able to produce more than 10,000 of eco-brick, and we have been able to partner with international NGO to have construction projects, especially for the toilets in different schools here in Dar es Salaam. We started with Temeke. Although we have challenges, especially for the production, now we don't have that ability of producing maybe this eco-brick in plastic production, but we are looking forward in the next year to have those machinery so that we can have to consume more plastic from the environment and to have a better solution, an alternative solution to this plastic. Come to the second question. You asked about, can you repeat the second question? Hello, Joe.
You say the second questions? The second question is about how can circular economy influence the perception of marine litter toward
okay, thank you for reminding. Okay, first, circular economy. Circular economy itself is an alternative solution to marine litter. As you know, this marine litter has a negative impact to our economic impact. As you know, it has been a destructive to fishing industry. shipping industry and also tourism industry. So having this mindset of circular economy, and if we're practicing it circular, the circular economy, we can able to solve the marine litters. What the problem is, people, most of the people, they don't have, I don't know, it's a knowledge and awareness about how can we practice this circular economy in big picture or in a wide range, you know. So I think the circular, if we practice the circular economy, or if we have maybe innovation of practicing this circular economy, can help to reduce this marine litter, and also maybe to finish it at, to finish it in large. If we have a different innovation, like converting this plastic into eco-brick, into oil, or into fuel, into energy, and if we have maybe the technology that can able to convert all of this innovation in a wide way, we can able to save our ocean and prevent this marine litter. And also, it's not about only plastic, but there is other debris that can able to convert debris to other products like culture or other products. So we need to practice it and to bring more awareness to the people, and also knowledge about this circular economy, how to reuse, to refabricate, and also to reduce this marine litter to the ocean. I think we can go further if we can do that.
Well, nice input from Helen Silas. Now I give the chance to the audience if they have any input or any question to Helen.
Okay, I do have a question to, I don't know, is it Miss or Mrs. Elena? So my questions goes like this, like, okay, I understand that plastic is a key resource for, the bricks that, they are making. And so as an entrepreneur, that I think, if I'm right, that I'm saying, will you be happy to see more plastic in the environment, especially in the marine, area? That is one question for you. And the second question that also came to mind, I think I heard you saying that, I think you say every Saturday or so, you go for this beach cleanup exercise. Now, don't you think at this point, the community or the areas that where you do this thing will now begin to see you as, a certified waste collector, in addressing waste, in the environment? Because I think this is one of the things that Mr. Jerry, highlighted, during his presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, but I didn't get the second question, but I can answer the first one, and then maybe you can repeat the second question. Okay, the world is struggling to find a solution for this plastic waste, and we are really struggling. How can we have alternative packaging to this plastic waste? But as you asked, like, I'll be happy to see maybe more waste to the ocean. Definitely no, because even this, I'm an entrepreneur, yes, of course, but I'm a social entrepreneur. There is a difference. I'm a social entrepreneur who is passionate to see my environment is clean and safe, and I'm helping maybe community to have a health planet, to have health environment, So my passion for starting this Alena recycling first was to see if we can able to have free plastic to the environment, and also to see, okay, we can have that free environment, plastic free from environment, but we can also benefit from it, or we can able to create some jobs to other people, you know, creating those challenges to opportunities rather than being doing nothing, you know. And also learning this business is not like maybe it's much profitable. No, it's not, because of this maybe operational cost and having trying to learn the business that we have need to acquire maybe a bigger investment, you know. So it's all about having health community, having a health environment for sustainability. That was the goal for starting this business. So seeing the maybe, as you asked, maybe I'll be happy, or I will not be happy maybe if we could not have plastic in the beach. That is not true. I would have to, you know, I'm an innovator, and I would have maybe to see if we could have alternative to plastic. I mean, like to have a sustainable package, but still we are struggling. You know, the world is struggling, but we cannot sit and stay at home maybe doing nothing. At least we have contributed something to the environment, and also to create some income and create job opportunities to others. Come to the second question. I don't know if we're satisfied with.
Okay, so let me just help with the second question again. So I was saying that will it not become a problem that, you know, communities start seeing you as, you know, your sole responsibility of cleaning up the waste in the environment, because now you have a practice of every Saturday or maybe at a certain time to go collect plastic, you know, by the beach? Will it not be a problem in the nearest future?
Problem, you mean?
Like, you know, the community seeing you as their sole core people responsible for cleaning up the environment. I want to believe that Tanzania should have a waste management, you know, board or ministry in charge of, you know, cleaning up and collecting waste. But here you are, you know, like, you know, you're always having this exercise on a regular basis. And I'm sure that the community around those areas are observing and they're seeing the things that you're doing. And so I was thinking that, okay, will it not become a future problem? Because Mr. Jerry also highlighted, you know, in this presentation, where communities or some of the respondents began to see NGOs or maybe social entrepreneurs as yourself as being responsible, you know, for waste management in their area.
Okay, if I got you correct, but I don't think I'll be the problem, but I think I'm the sustainable solution to for the cleanup. You know, here in Tanzania, we don't have that that proper waste management. You know, even the municipal or the government, they don't have this initiative themselves for beach cleanup. For those who are doing this beach cleanup are only environmental NGOs, you know, non-government organization, you know. So here in Tanzania, I can say that I don't think that we can be the problem for the government or for the waste management, but we are helping them so much to have these clean beaches and to have the clean environment. And speaking on that, we are not only depend on plastic waste on the beach, as I told you. We need, many plastic waste so that we can have enough key resources for the production, so that we have this strategy for collecting this plastic. As I said before, we collect plastic from the source, and we have this system of collecting the plastic from the shop, conference centers and other places, but also we buy this plastic from waste pickers, whereby these waste pickers, they collect this plastic from the environment. You know, here in Tanzania, when you walk, it's easy to see plastic on the environment, and when people even maybe they are on the bus, when someone can drink maybe a softly drink, it's easy to dispose outside the load. So you can find this plastic in the environment. So we depend also to these waste pickers to collect this plastic. I don't know if I answered correctly for what you asked me.
Yeah, thanks for the response. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, maybe I can add
in
a little
addition,
more, John, if I can get a chance.
okay, just go.
John?
Yes, sure, go ahead.
Okay, maybe. Okay, about the beach cleanliness activities, sometimes it's you can meet some challenge, like maybe you are doing those activities with the local peoples. Sometimes they may think that you have maybe money, maybe you get a grant, that's why you are doing that kind of activities. So sometimes in Tanzania, people need to be given a money to participate in those activities. Maybe I can see that is a big challenge sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. What you said, Priska, is very true, because even us, we got some challenges when we want maybe the permit for beach cleanup. You know, these people, they think like we are funded or we are getting some money by doing this, but that is not true, you know. So some people, they are after money, you know, and especially from government, when they want to conduct some kind of activities like that, they all think about maybe there'll be allowance there, or some people they give you money, something like that. So that's the challenge we got also.
Okay. Thank you. You have answered it very well. And this is another challenge we have. I'll take this chance to continue the meeting, and I will have to welcome Catherine Elek. But unfortunately, Catherine Elek won't be able to join us today because they are moving toward Mombasa with the plastic. So in short, Catherine Elek, she is a designer. They also cycle some plastic waste, and one of the things they do is making things like this. These are plastics notebook, and they are able to make a plastic boat which is now sailing toward Kenya in Mombasa. So right now they are on their way. So I wish them a nice journey to Kenya. So moving on, I will welcome Mr. Jerry Geoffrey Mangena from Aqua Farms Organization. Jerry? Jerry?
Yes, I'm here, I'm around.
Okay, Jerry Geoffrey Mangena. We are happy to have you. So Mr. Jerry Mangena is a co-founder and director of Aqua Organization, a marine biologist, and he is an aquapreneur and has more than 4 years experience in fishery aquaculture. Also, he is a trained business coach of Climatic Launchpad. He is a tutor at the School of Aquatic Science, University of Dar es Salaam. And he's a climatic reality leader and a Mandela Washington Fellow. He's committed to protecting the ocean from unsustainable use, and he firmly believes that aquatic resources are sustainable. If are sustainably used, they can help to mitigate climatic change, and they will have impact on the poverty alleviation. So Jerry is one of my friends, and he hates people who are discarding the plastics and the other waste. So Jerry, I will welcome you, and I have two sets of questions for you. I need you to listen tentatively, and then after that you will tackle them questions. The first question is, what does innovation mean to you? What does innovation mean to you? And the second question will be, what has Aqua Farm organization put in place innovation? What has Aqua Farms organization put in place innovation? Okay, the floor is all yours. You're welcome, Jerry.
Thank you so much, John, and thank you so much, everyone who has been speaking earlier. It's a very interesting conversation, actually, that's happening here. To respond to your question, the first question that you asked around what does innovation mean to me, I would speak that in the context of what does innovation mean to Aqua Farms specifically. In Aqua Farms, we define innovation in an angle of just anything beyond the norm. And it doesn't have to be tech. It doesn't have to be some rocket science thing. It's just to do in a different way compared to the most commonly known way. So it's centered around, changing the way we are used to do things into different ways into which they are not normally understood, and then to bring out results and solutions to problems that we foresee. So in that angle, looking at innovation in that perspective, we have a lot of approaches that we put in place to make sure that we practice innovation in every of our activities. And specifically to marine litter and behavioral change, one among the things that we as Aqua Farms are putting in place is changing the narrative around that and putting in place people's minds towards sustainable use of aquatic resources and waste management practices that are best at their positions. And how are we doing this? The first way we do this is by putting stories outside there, and stories outside there, meaning that we put storytelling and as a component, which is important in terms of dissemination, so that people can easily understood. When you came to the session today, you saw a video running there that's animation showing different results in a very simplified way that anyone can easily understood, and we put them in two languages. We put it in Swahili, and we also put it in English language, so that information can reach a wider audience. So using that aspect itself is the first way we are planting that, the concept of innovation, and making sure that things can be instilled into people's hearts towards the changing of their behavior. We understand behavior change is not something that you can do overnight. It's something that you have to put in place and make sure that slowly things are acceptable, and then someone starts to practice it without being pushed. And another second thing that we used across all our programs is ensuring community readiness and willing to own anything that we work with them. And in that perspective, we center innovation by relying on local indigenous knowledge of the people. We go to people, we ask them, how would you solve this problem of waste in your place? And they would give us solutions that they think they can work for them, that doesn't even require a lot of infrastructure. And we design programs that are centered towards changing them to think of only infrastructures as what's needed. And then at the end, it results into self-initiatives within the local community to bring a solution on different aspects, one of it being marine litter. So basically, that's the way Aqua Farms is practicing innovation, but also what innovation means to us. It's not about tech, it's not about rocket science, it's about changing the norm. It's about changing the way we are centered to do things. Thank you.
Jerry, very much for your insights and for your input on and response in these questions. And I will come one of the audience to throw a question to Jerry, if there is anyone. Priska, do you have question?
Okay, can I ask Mr. Jerry a question?
Okay.
Considering your experience, working with communities, for them to own whatever it is that you are interested introducing them to. Now, to what level have you recorded success in achieving this? To what level have you seen communities owing to owing whatever it is that you've been supporting them on? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Inka. That's a great question. Oh, okay.
Maybe I can ask.
All right, I see she's lost.
Network is...
Yeah, I just to respond to Inka's question. Yes, so we've not succeeded in terms of plastic pollution, but I can say we have succeeded in two other projects that we're doing right now, which one is around seaweed farming, and the other one, which is around mangrove restoration and working with the communities down there. And the continuation, one among the measures of success in our case is how can is the project continuing without our presence? That's one. How does the project continue without any funding? That's two. And how actively are they seeking for further support beyond us? Those are the three aspects that we look when we define a success of their willingness and readiness when it's achieved for them to take action and work upon something. And in those two projects, we've been able to take that in place and people value it. But I can attest that one among the things, it's because it has a monetary value out of it. We have established for the mangroves alternative livelihood projects that are generating incomes, but also for the seaweed farming, it's also around value addition and creating markets around their products, which is also centered around money. So I could argue, if we really want to attest and solve the issue around marine litter, if we can link it to how it can generate money, then that could be a best way into which the community can attest and accept it easily. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for your response. And I'll give the last chance if there is any question. Kretus Mtonga. Welcome.
Yeah, hi everyone. I think it's quite interesting. I've heard a lot of talks, interesting talks from Helen and from Dr. Olanyika. It's quite interesting. Just one thing that I picked up from the conversation that most of the people did is just a comment that when we talk of something about responsibilities, who is responsible to take that waste from the environment? Because you have companies that manufacture that waste, they make money. We can discuss here, because it's a study of perception of community, and we put all these obligations to community. But who is actually responsible? Because waste management is very expensive, and at current situation, maybe our governments may not be ready to accept. There's a concept that Helena talked about the circular economy, but it's a growing concept, and actually it has a lot of loopholes. So what I suggest is also to see a way that government can put obligations to the manufacturing industry, to see a way that they can add value in their product, of which the amount of the added value can be used to recycle this product to support the good work like what Helena is doing. And I think from there we can start very small steps. As I said, waste management is very expensive. But second, as an individuals, what we can do, because we've talked about, community need to start this, community need to start this, but there should be someone need to start this. For instance, John, maybe let's say Pooja or anyone, like how do you live your life so that you reduce your waste footprint and you improve the way you manage, because it's a little bit expensive. So I was quite cautious about the responsibilities, and to my opinion, I think responsibility should be shared between the companies and the communities as well. Thank you.
Thanks you very much, Kretas, for responding Olayinka's question. And that was thrown to Helena. Can't community see you as a certified collector? And in your response, I can see you have called upon the government to collaborate with the peoples in this. Otherwise, the local communities can classify you as that is your job to pick the trash from them. Thank you very much. So
I just quickly say something to what Kratos just said now, because I think I really appreciated the angle with which, and I was actually looking forward for someone to actually, speak in that direction. And in particular is, the industry that produces the plastic itself, because, these people are into business making. And it seems like no one is really putting the pressure on them to either find an alternative to their plastic or find a means by which they can improve the kind of plastic that is not harming, the environment. Now, much of that discussion has not really been going on, and because, like I said, they are into business and they might be privileged with resources and funding to even, pally up with government, so that even the government are not, paying the needed attention that needs to be. But we are at a time now that, this issue of plastic needs to be taken seriously by all stakeholders, even from the government to the industry to individuals, everybody, like it's a serious issue that, we just need to come and profile a solution and a way forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your input and calling upon the industry to act upon their own waste which they produce. So I will move on, and now it's Mr. Michael Kimolo's turn. Michael Kimolo, if you could hear me. Michael Kimolo.
Hello.
How are you doing, Michael?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So,
yeah.
Kimolo has over 4 years experience in software development and digital marketing, focusing on designing, development, and branding. Currently, he is a co-founder and operator, lead of Hyper Interactive Company Limited, a digital marketing agency focused on development of software solution and creative services for both small, medium sizes enterprises. Michael holds a bachelor degree in computer engineering and information technology from University of Dar es Salaam, where he majored software engineering and explore human-centered design technical in business development. He is highly motivated and self-driven and dedicated professional who aspire to leverage on power of digital technology to address the social, economic challenge in his community. I will welcome you again, Michael, and I have 2 questions to you. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, the first question is, what does innovation mean to you? That's the first question. What does innovation mean to you? And the second question is, the e-waste solution, do you think it's applicable in the context of Africa?
All right. So again, thank you for this wonderful session. A lot of thoughts have been shared by everyone. So I think about innovation, we have had a lot of people that have defined what it is, and I think all of them we are thinking the same way. But really, to me, I think the process of innovation goes down to us as people to understand where we are and where we are not today. And in that regard, it's more of how we use the body of existing knowledge to come up with new solutions that changes how we do things. So in general, to me, I think it's more about how we use the current building blocks that allows us to expand beyond our current possibilities and create solutions and processes that improves our day-to-day lives and processes as we go on. And yeah, so I think in terms of how I say it, I would put that way. And the second question was what again?
The second question is the e-waste solution.
Okay.
Do you think it is applicable in the context of Africa?
Okay. I think on the e-waste, first of all, to me, I think it's a very complicated problem. Here we are speaking about electronic waste, which to me it's very complicated because of the fact that I think technology is becoming more and more integrated into every aspect of our lives, and people tend to, like people they tend to use technology, and the rate of adoption is really, really high. So in terms of electronics, the rate at which this waste is being produced is very high. It has a very alarming rate that I think we need to work on it to eradicate it as much as we can. But in terms of the solutions, I think this is not it is a complex challenge that requires multiple solutions. There is no one solution that we can say that, it can help to eradicate this e-waste problem. Here I'm speaking from the angle of the better design of the products, the electronic products that are being utilized by the people. How can the companies and organizations that produce these kind of products be responsible and expand their capabilities so that they design better products that will be environmentally friendly. But also maybe to look at the recycling capabilities that we have. How can we improve our capacity to recycle all these wastes so that at the end of the day, they do not have as much detrimental effects as as if we don't do nothing. And in that regard, I would love to congratulate Helena for her wonderful initiative, because I know in terms of the wastes and whether it's a plastic waste or it's electronic waste, whatever kind of waste, as long as the human race exists, the waste is going to be a problem. So we need each and everyone who has those kind of initiatives to get better support and to work together collaboratively to address these kind of solutions. So I think having better recycling mechanisms could also help, but also looking at the policy, because especially for the e-waste problems, you find most of the e-waste that are being problematic. Most of these electronic gadgets are being imported from most of the developing countries. Sorry, I mean from the developed countries. So you would find most of these developed countries would dump and use Africa as a dumping site for these electronic waste. So maybe it's also the time for our country and our countries together to start looking at the policies on how to deal with these kind of problems at a bigger, a broader, and global level. So I think, in summary, the problem might, the solution might work, but it's a little bit complicated, and it needs more than just one solution. So we need to support more initiatives and take individual responsibilities to make sure that these kind of challenges are being eradicated entirely. That would be my perspective.
Oh, thank you very much for your input, Mr. Kimolo, Michael Kimolo.
Thank you.
And because we are out of time, we still have only 5 minutes. So we need to use this time so effectively. I'll need a person, I give a person 30 seconds for questioning and 30 seconds for response from Michael Kimolo. Anyone?
I have a question.
Okay, 30 seconds.
Yeah. So, Michael, great work you're doing. I'm just wondering around the solution that you have right now. How easy is it acceptable by people here in Tanzania?
I mean, so just for the context, we currently we developed a software application for small and medium solid waste management companies to manage their financial records and receive payments from their clients, because most of them, they experience huge financial losses because of their current modality that they use to collect the payments from their clients. In general, the acceptance has been huge. Almost for all of the companies that we have talked to, they are willing to adapt our solution, and we already have like 3 companies on board. There have been some challenges because currently, like our software system needs to communicate with the government's revenue collection system, so that more companies could adapt it to their operations. So we are working on that, and we hope if we will be able to pass through the integration with the government system, it will be much more easier for more companies to onboard. But for in terms of acceptance, for most of the companies that we have pitched our products, they are really interested, and we already have a few paying customers till date.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. If you have a question, you can drop it in the chat box, and he will respond to you. And we are rushing, time is going very fast, and we need to finish. This time, I'll take this time to welcome Mr. Kretus Joseph Mtonga. This is our secretary at Aqua Farm organization, to give his close remarks from the organizing committee. And please use time effectively. It's about 2 minutes. And after that, we can take a group photo together. So take this time to prepare yourself and turn on your camera after Kretus finish. Welcome, Mr. Kretus Joseph Mtonga.
Yeah, thank you so much, John, for having me to give some closing remarks. Just in briefly, first of all, I would like to thank all of you for taking your time to participate in this very important workshop for sharing results. There were interesting topics on how innovation can do, and different people, explain what they are doing. And actually myself, I learned a lot, and I hope most of you also learned a lot from this. We've seen good works from Helena and Olanyika and many others. Also to pinpoint also as well, the point made by Senkondo, it's also important also to look at the discourses of the stakeholders, because who you are interviewing, they have something in the back of their mind that can affect the results. So yeah, I think we will take that into consideration, that we will ask more participants next time and divide them according to the industry of origin, so that to combine the discourses. I will also take this opportunity to thank University of Dar es Salaam for their collaboration in this research, going on field to collect data, and also Elizada Universities through Dr. Olenyeka, who spoke already today. Next, I would like to say that AFO, we are delighted to organize this event, and we are looking forward to cooperate with you. We are so open to respond to your emails and further ways of collaboration. I have one more important message to each of you regarding the attitude and behavior, because we've seen that waste management is very expensive, but that doesn't limit us on what we can do. Of course, as an individual, through your life, you should try to live in a life that you can reduce your waste footprint, the way you manage your waste. I know at the end, some people use, plastic bottles, a lot of plastic bottles, but I can tell you, if you live that kind of life, it's much more expensive than living, for instance, ecological life, having your reusable bottle. So also in this kind of behavior, someone need to start, like I said, and individual practices can help other people to learn more from you. And I hope you will start to practice this. Again, I would like to thank you so much for your participation in this, and we hope to see you in the next events regarding other topics, and amongst the topics including this one of marine litters. And thank you so much, and I wish you a nice day. Please take care. You can use face masks that are reusable in this kind of situation of COVID, so that you also protect yourself and also the environment. And lastly, I would like to wish you a nice evening wherever you are. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Cretus Joseph Mtonga, for your input. And I like that when you say that pollution or littering is much more expensive. So this is our take home from these meetings. So I would like everyone to, you can show up, or you can just raise your virtual hand or virtual pose or whatever, so we can take our group photo. Karibuni sana. Kwa waliojificha, this is your time to be seen. Hi, Vanessa. Nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
Nice to
Sorry
see
I was late.
My background.
Yeah. Oh, I like your background. It's nice. Hi, Priska. Edwin, welcome. Alex Mafuru. Maria Pentezel.
Okay.
Maria. Delicia.
Hello.
Hey, it's picture time. If you could show up.
Oh.
Oh, nice to see you. I always see you on Instagram, your post. Okay, Delicious.
Nice to see you too.
Delicia.
Okay, maybe she's not by the screen. So
yeah. You can put whatever pose you want. Jerry, you can cheer it up because you are taking this photo.
Yeah, sure. So I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Everyone is gonna say 0 waste. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, just a second. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
0 waste.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time, and I'm delighted to have you. Just some few AOBs. There's World Ocean Day coming this June 8th. If you want to collaborate, if you want to attend the event, please stay in touch with our social media or reach out to me, John, or anyone in Aqua Farms, and they will tell you more about the lives and livelihood that we want to put in place in the next World Oceans Day. But also, there's another session that will be happening during the Innovation Week that will be around blue innovations. And it's going to be a virtual exhibition. If you have time, please do not hesitate to attend and see what are the innovations around blue economy in Tanzania. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Bye.
Sana. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Kwaherini.
Ukumbi si nyanzo unahitaji siku.
Priska, mwambie Juliet ya mute.
Oh, Juliet anasikika.
Priska, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. It's good seeing you. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a long time. I didn't hear from you. How is there? How is Corona situation there?
Well, my dear, life is good. Nobody's even bothering about Corona. People want to survive and live. So we don't even know whether Corona is still in Nigeria or not.
Oh, so it's the same situation as Tanzania.
Yeah, people are just going about their daily business. And I think this thing is still recorded before people start, before we start recording every other conversation.